Thank you very much for joining me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. We have a big front as we head into the weekend. It's the biggest front we've had this winter season so far. That means very gusty winds, high seas, gale warnings, which means some treacherous seas with the winds. I want to break down the winds on the big picture, small picture, show you this front exactly where it's going to be. And that does mean some cooler days and cooler nights for some of us. So let me start with the winds. That'll be everything as we get into the weekend. I'll zoom down right here in a second, but first, here's your scale, both kilometers an hour and miles per hour. Winds coming down out of the north throughout much of the Gulf already for today. Now, look what happens as we get into our Saturday, and let me stop the clock here later on our Saturday. Here's where the front is. If you are north of this line, you are cooler as we head into our Saturday and especially Saturday night through the Bahamas. That strong northerly and northeasterly flow near the Turks and Caicos, close to Haiti, Cuba, Cayman Islands, on the edge of Jamaica in Central America. We're going to have some cooler weather, especially Nicaragua up to the north, some of that cooler air. But again, these winds are going to be gusty at that. We're going to see some of the winds, look at the whites popping up, upwards of about 80 kilometers an hour, or gusts to about 50 miles per hour. So those are the gusts. And then you see here, this is by Sunday. The front sinks a little more to the south, so we will even get a little northeasterly breeze in parts of Jamaica and over toward Haiti, over toward the DR. Strong northeasterly winds picking up, treacherous seas over toward the Bahamas. Back toward Cuba with this. You see the brighter colors right in here. This is Monday. Now by Monday, winds turn around even more so. They're going to turn more out of the southeast. So we'll lose that northeasterly breeze, more out of the southeast. But you see these spots right in here, that white shading showing up, very gusty winds. And yes, that does mean higher seas. I'll zoom down in a second. Let me show you a few things first, then I'll get to the seas. Now, this is the front that's moving in. It clipped by parts of the northeast U.S. over toward Washington, D.C. There's a little bit of snow around up toward parts of New Jersey. So there's the front. Not a lot of rain with it. Some passing showers. Bahamas, Florida for today. And this system won't just necessarily plow into our friends in the Atlantic region of Canada. A lot of the action moves offshore. But getting a look at the front itself, this is by tomorrow, and you can pick it out. That's the leading edge where you're seeing some of that green, that shading you're seeing there, the rain. So I put a marker on it, that red shading there, just to give you an idea of where the front is. And that opens up the door for some of the cooler air up to the north to move in. Again, this is our Saturday. Now, moving forward throughout the weekend, showing you what's next as we go from Saturday into Sunday. The front moves, or the system moves away from Bermuda, but that front sinks in even further. So stopping it here on Sunday, this front gets all the way down, as I was showing you, with those winds back through near Haiti, Cuba, very close to Jamaica. And then look at some of this extra rain. I was talking about this the last couple videos. Some extra rain's going to be building near the Yucatan of Mexico, and we're going to see that as we get into early next week. Just a flare-up of rain here. Some moisture will kind of even get pulled in from the Pacific side, and then going out into next week, another system develops, a very classic El Nino winter with system after system. And then I'll keep an eye on this rain, how close it gets toward the Cayman Islands and how close it gets toward Cuba, over toward the Yucatan and Belize. But there's that front there. But that southeasterly, southerly flow will draw in more moisture. So we'll be watching the Gulf of Mexico and parts of the Western Caribbean carefully next week. Not for a system to develop. It's not the hurricane season, but just a lot of moisture around and still those high seas. Here are the seas, speaking of which, meters here. Feet on the right-hand side of your screen where you see the brighter colors. This is today. That's where the seas are going to be building. And then you see it here. This is by tomorrow. So we're looking at about 2 to 3 meters, even 4 meters in some spots of the Gulf and Caribbean, of course. Seas upwards of about 5 meters, close to 20 feet near Bermuda as we get into the weekend. This is tomorrow. Then I'll bring into Sunday. And look how things do not really subside. If anything, they get choppier. You see here again as we get through the Gulf, and that's one of the reasons we have those gale warnings, elevated seas, the gusty winds with us. This again here is on Sunday, and then into next week, even more so, giving you the heads up that next week we're going to see things building both in the Gulf of Mexico and in the Caribbean. You see upwards of about 4 meters in some spots. We could see the seas over about 10 feet, maybe upwards of 12 feet in some spots in the Caribbean. Of course, we are going to see that over the next few days on and off back through the Bahamas. Not great for sailing. And then you get back through the Gulf of Mexico, watching everything just point being is going to be choppier. And then we have that next system that will roll into the north as we get into next week. So the seas are going to be elevated. Gale warnings are up for the Gulf and for the Caribbean. Speaking of which, just a closer look. This is today, that easterly flow that will draw in a few showers. I'll show you that in a moment. But there's that easterly flow today. And then going out in time, this is as we work our way into our Saturday. There's that northerly and then northeasterly breeze that moves in and clips us in Jamaica. So that flow will be coming in. We'll get that stronger flow out of the northeast, the seas building through the Bahamas. In that northeasterly flow all the way down through Roatan, Providencia, Nicaragua, a bit of a northeasterly breeze. So we're going to be cooler Saturday night in many parts of Central America. Still over here, ahead of the front, we have more of that southeasterly flow. This is Saturday, but as we get into Sunday, things really take hold, and you see that sharper northeasterly breeze there moving in, even over toward Haiti. It'll be a little more refreshing overnight. Dominican Republic, a little more refreshing overnight, especially Sunday night. But you see these winds, it's kind of white shading in here. Those are some of the stronger winds in there, and over toward the ABC Islands, northern Venezuela, northern Colombia, where we're going to have some of those gusty winds. So the gale warnings, they are out, but they may stay out into next week because it's going to be system after system that will bring us some cooler weather, and it will crank up the winds, and we're going to see this just continuing. So a closer look here, some spotty showers with that easterly breeze. Barbados, Grenada, we may get a few. Here's that front, and you see how it's not a lot of rain with it. As this moves through Florida and the northern Bahamas, some scattered showers will be possible. No big area of rain, not even a whole lot of thunderstorms with that. As we get into our Saturday, though, a few things to watch. Again, hit or miss shower in some locations. We'll be seeing that the front right about here, and then the extra moisture, Bay of Campeche, some of the rain starts to pick up. That's going to be that feed that eventually kicks in and brings more moisture, and you see it here on Sunday. So watching over toward Belize, I may need to up the rain chance. Belize and parts of Mexico, a higher chance of rain. Watching even some of the scattered showers all the way back through the Bahamas as we work our way into the second half of the weekend. So Jamaica, hit or miss shower. Watching out for the temps, little change. Keep me posted in the comments on kind of how it feels out there. If you are dealing with the front, could see a few showers in the Cayman Islands today. Trinidad and Tobago, we're looking at a 30% chance. No front moving in. Grenada, rain chance about 50% today, 30% chance through the weekend. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a 40% chance for tomorrow, and a 30% chance tomorrow in Barbados. Rain chance 40% today and tomorrow. As we get into St. Lucia. Martinique, a 30% chance this weekend, and a 20 to 30% chance in Dominica, going down some by the second half of the weekend. Sunday, just a 20% chance of a shower in Guadeloupe, and you see not a lot of action. Antigua and Barbuda, it would be a passing shower. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, rain chance 30% chance through the weekend. Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, I mentioned a few of those spotty showers. St. Martin, Saba, just pick your spot. Montserrat, hit or miss shower. Puerto Rico, rain chance about 20% chance. U.S. and British Virgin Islands, 20 to 30% chance as we go through the weekend. 40% chance for today in the Dominican Republic. Could see a few passing showers. Haiti, not a whole lot. 40% chance in the Bahamas. Spotty showers. Northern and central Bahamas, a better chance of getting some rain. Turks and Caicos by Sunday, the rain chance will pick up slightly. In Cuba, passing shower, 30% chance, and about a 40 to 50% chance in Belize, but I may raise that a little bit. It could be higher. By Sunday, it could be upwards of a 60% chance. Same thing in the Yucatan of Mexico. You get over toward Cancun, that rain chance is going to be higher for the second half of the weekend. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, rain chance stays very limited, just a 10 to 20% chance. Bermuda, of course, that front around for today. 20% chance of rain in Costa Rica, not a lot. Still a 60% chance in Guyana today, and about a 40% chance in Suriname. Rain chance in northern Venezuela. By the way, northern Venezuela, it's going to be breezy, especially if you're along the coast. Rain chance holding at about 20%. So a lot going on. Strong cold front moving closer. Gusty winds, high seas. Gale warnings this weekend, but they could continue right into next week. That pattern is going to go on, and I'll monitor the earthquakes as we go throughout the weekend. And anything crazy, I will let you know. Please be safe and have a good weekend ahead.